Hi guys, my name is Amanda.
And I'm Sophia.
And welcome to ZomBabes.
Where every theory is valid.
Except for flat earth.
Y'all can leave.
Please, quickly, expeditiously. What we got today?
Well, obviously something deeply unsettling.
Okay.
Today we are talking about the real world mystery, Missing 411. Have you ever heard of it?
No. Enlighten me, please.
So basically, people, hikers, hunters, kids, even experienced outdoorsmen are vanishing in the wilderness with no trace, no clue, and oftentimes no explanation. So just to dive into it a little bit on the background. So the term Missing 411 was coined by David Paulides, a former police detective turned investigative researcher. And so he wasn't really looking for this story. He stumbled upon it while researching Bigfoot sightings.
How do you get from that to this?
Well, so you see, he was researching Bigfoot sightings, and a national park ranger pulled him aside and was like, hey, something's going on. People are vanishing in the parks, and no one's talking about it. And just like that, the rabbit hole opened. So he started digging into the missing persons reports from U.S. national parks, and what he found was not your typical search and rescue kind of thing. It was not just people getting lost, but it was like really weird patterns behind people disappearing.
Okay.
Well, the weirdest part was that the authorities were completely silent about it. Like, it wasn't talked about, but some of the similarities of it were victims vanishing within moments of turning a corner on the trail, or children disappearing only to be found miles away, sometimes uphill, barefoot, and in places that they couldn't reach alone.
And that doesn't make any sense. Wait. How many national parks are there?
60-something? 63. So 63 national parks, and Paulides documented over 1,200 cases of these weird, eerie kind of vanishings of people. Some of the other weird kind of, I can't think of the word, trends, I guess, is bodies being discovered in areas that were already searched, or in places that like defy logic.
Okay.
And sometimes just nothing. No bodies, no clues, just
literally like they vanish.
Yeah.
Like a time warp, or they switch timelines.
I mean, possibly. I kind of talk about it later, but yeah, could be some time slips or like interdimensional rifts, but we'll get a little bit more
I'm
into
also
that.
sure that some of those, are they in Appalachia?
Of course.
It's the skinwalkers.
Of course. Duh. I mean, like, the national parks are across the entire United States, but like Appalachia, the Appalachian Trail in general, there's a lot of overlap with those.
It's huge. So.
Another thing that's really crazy about the overlap, so if you like on a map, you lay out the national parks, and then you have these missing persons cases, but then also the cave system. It's like all overlapping in a really, really weird way.
I wonder if they get, you know what? Look, enlighten me.
But anyways, so the National Park Service, they do not keep a centralized database of people that go missing in their parks. So when Paulides asked for a list, they said they had never compiled one. And if he had it, he had to pay thousands of dollars for it.
I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, you can't keep up with the people that go missing at your park.
I mean, I guess when there's so many cases, and it also like is dating back so long. First of all, they never paid anyone to compile a list. But I mean, who knows how far back these disappearances have gone to where, like, I don't know, when they start documenting things. Obviously never, because
when did he do this research? Do you know what year this was that he...
Why'd you ask me that?
I have questions. The people have questions.
You know? When did Paulides start this research?
I'm not sure. His first book was 2012.
So we're going to say the early 2000s is probably when he started this research.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But he did document over 1,200 cases, and the vanishings often involve clusters of disappearances in specific regions, weather events that kick in right after somebody vanishes, victims found near boulder fields, water or berry bushes, or people being found, if they are found, in areas already combed by search teams.
So they miss it and then they find it later.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if you think about it, like, for example, boulder fields, a field literally filled with, like, rock, like, giant rocks and boulders.
Mhm.
Like, there's going to be a bunch of, like, divots and things, and it's hard to just look and see everything, right?
Then the question is, how the hell did they get out there?
I mean, maybe they got lost, but they're climbing over all these boulders to get lost.
That's what I'm saying.
Or maybe they fell. But then again, I don't think they are often found near where they went missing, which is the weirdest
Yeah, because
part.
you were saying, like, children being, like, 4 miles away from where they went missing at. There's no way a kid is doing that.
Right. But anyways,
T.
so the crazy part is, like, and I'm kind of trying to stay on the same, I'm not trying to stay on the same side as Khalidis, but, like, he intentionally says, like, he does not say that it's anything supernatural or anything criminal. He's only saying that these are not normal missing persons cases. So, you know, I don't know if he's kind of, like, avoiding pointing fingers at anything because he wants us to continue to question, like, what is happening? Is it a serial predator? Is it secret government cover-up? Is it time slips, interdimensional rifts, or something not human, like
there's
cryptids?
so many things that you could think that would make sense because it's like if they're not compiling a list and they're being hush-hush, then it's like, why? Like, the
government documents everything. Why are y'all not documenting this?
Exactly. And y'all are very secretive. What are y'all... That's a whole nother thing. Speaking of, because I know Appalachia isn't around all of these, but Appalachia, the cave system, one of the conspiracies is that the government does things in the cave system.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what y'all doing down there with them peoples?
A lot of stuff.
We don't trust them. The CIA. Look at that. But no, like,
they're watching us right now through our phones.
Don't get me. But I guess it's like there's so many things that you could chalk it up to, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint it to any one thing.
Which is why I think people have, like, really taken to this, because so he later made a documentary series called Missing 411, and then Missing 411 The Hunted, which focused on, like, experienced hunters vanishing under these bizarre circumstances. Ooh, I just hit that so hard. But yeah, so these were not rookies in The Hunted. They were, like, ex-military survival experts, people that knew how to track, hide, survive, and somehow still disappear without a trace.
And that is insanity to me.
Yes.
Truly, because they know what they're doing. How do you... I mean, like, if you're found, I guess you could kind of be like, oh, yeah, they had an accident. Oopsie poopsie. Like, I don't know, but, like...
Spooky dookie.
Spooky dookie. But it's like, if you just completely vanish and this is, like, what you do, that's insane.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, I do feel like sometimes men in general get comfortable and, you know, they might have gone out into these woods hundreds of times. They let their guard down and they don't see the things around them, or they're not paying attention.
Men, moral of the story, don't get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable.
Stay uncomfortable at all times.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, no, that's actually insane to me. Like, that's actually hard to, like, wrap my head around.
You ready to get into some...
Let me hear it. Let's get into some spooky dookie stories right here.
Okay. So, first one. In 1981, An 84-year-old man named Maurice Stamets went to... In 1981, an 84-year-old man named Maurice Stamets went topaz hunting with his friend David McSweeney. Stamets had a PhD in theology and in the 70s had said that in several publications that he believed the Antichrist was coming. He wrote the devil would appear as a political, religious, commercial autocrat of the world. By the way, these stories I got off of top10s.net. I do plan on doing a deeper dive on a lot of them, but I feel like I had to cite my sources on these stories real quick.
Okay.
I'm back to the story. They drove to Pike National Forest in Colorado. Once they were in the park, they had to drive 16 miles down a dirt road until they reached a spot called Topaz Point. Native Americans claimed it was haunted by evil spirits. Early settlers called this place Devil's Head, which is a very interesting coincidence considering his theological background.
You should always listen to the Native Americans. Truly.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Always. Stay away. That's like a... Stay out that area. Truly.
White people. Laura's like, we're going to get canceled. Maurice could barely walk because he had bad knees. He needed David to help him down a small hill to get a sandy digging... Reading. He needed David to help him down a small hill to get to a sandy digging spot in the forest. Mm-hmm. When it was time to leave, David walked to Maurice's digging spot to say they should go in about 10 minutes. He went back to his own digging site about 150 yards away to clean up his tools, but when David returned to Maurice's spot, the elderly man was gone. With his bad knees, it would have been impossible for Maurice to climb up the hill on his own, and he couldn't have gotten far into the forest. Yet he was gone. He honked his horn, called for him, and searched for a long time. McSweeney flagged down a nearby car and asked them to find the police while he continued to search. The local authorities searched for 5 days, and they never found any evidence. Police closed the case, claiming they did all they could do. Stamets' wife sent a letter to the governor of Colorado to reopen the case, but she never received a reply. After Paulides created the documentary about the case, pointing out that there was a small cluster of disappearances, so basically like he was talking about the string of disappearances in Devil's Head. But after that little documentary came out, the police reopened the Maurice Stamets case over 30 years after the disappearance.
So they only looked for 5 days.
5 days.
And then called it.
Yeah.
That's fishy on its own. It's really frustrating how someone has to come up with an entire, like, documentary and get, like, a ton of media and, like, public attention for something to actually be, like, looked into. Because I feel like 5 days is not enough. Like,
I feel like normally these search and rescue kind of situations are, like, week long a lot of the time. So 5 days is crazy. But then the other thing that's crazy to me is, like, he was alone with one person. And I'm not saying you did anything. But did they not look into that at all?
Yeah, because normally the last person seen with somebody is, like, the number one person of interest. But, like, I guess because the area they were at, what was it called? Devil's Head?
Mm-hmm.
If it has so many disappearances that he can make an entire documentary on it, then it's like, okay, what are they gonna chalk it up to?
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably just assume that it's going along with the same amount of disappearances that have not been documented. So, like,
they should be looking into every avenue, and they should have looked more than 5 days. Like, that's actually, like...
But the crazy part is like, they're so quick to say, like, oh, 5 days we're done. We did all we could do. But, like, they weren't documenting how many people were going missing in that area anyways. So how'd they know to give up so quickly?
And this is why. This is why there's so many conspiracy theories about this.
Mm-hmm.
Off rip.
Yeah.
That is very hard to wrap my brain around.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to look for this little old man with bad knees? Like,
well, and then the other thing is, like, so he has bad knees and he's kind of in an area where he's secluded and he can't get out of it on his own. So, like, what if something came and got him and he couldn't run anywhere? He couldn't leave.
Yeah. It's like if it's an animal, though, like let's say it's an animal.
But if it was an animal, there would be blood.
There would be evidence. Yeah. So is it a cryptid? Did like a skinwalker grab him? Did he get like taken into the cave by something? Like,
do we even know a cave was nearby?
I don't know.
Was it the devil?
Who knows? He said he was coming back.
I mean, hey.
So that's just Intrastante. I don't know.
Intrastante.
Interesting is not clear enough. Intrastante. Like, I don't understand that.
Is that?
What? It's emphasis. It's emphasis. I don't understand that.
Interesante? Are you trying to say it in Spanish?
No.
Oh, just interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's like grape, garape.
Okay. Right.
Listen, don't be a hater, okay? Somebody will get it. Somebody will get it. You get it, right?
She said no. Anyways, moving on to the next story. So in 2014, a medical doctor named James McGrogan went on a split snowboard trip with his friends in Vail, Colorado. Not many people have heard of split snowboarding, but it is a sport that is a lot like cross-country skiing or hiking in snowshoes. He came prepared with his cell phone and a satellite GPS system. He was much faster than his friends, so he said he was going to wait for them at the next stop. First of all, I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Like, just slow down.
And not seclude yourself, you know, because there's nobody that can make sure you're safe. Like, like you said, a man gets too comfortable, and then bam, bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, you want to show off and start... First of all, let's not blame victims, but...
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're just saying if you're going snowboarding with a group of people, it's not a good idea to leave that group of people.
Just hang out with your friends, bro. Why you gotta be so cool and just walk ahead of everybody? If you don't want to talk, then just say that.
Just say I need a minute of silence. Like,
damn.
I'm sure somebody can give that to you.
But anyways, so he said he would wait for them on the next stop. They lost sight of him, and they never saw him at any of the stops along the trail. When the search team went looking for him, they found no tracks in the snow that veered off of the trail, so they had no idea where he could have possibly gone. 5 days later, his body was discovered 4.5 miles away as the crow flies, which is more like a 14-mile hike, as he would have had to climb up mountains in order to get there.
14 miles in 5 days?
I mean, they found him 14 miles away 5 days later. Which, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a record somewhere out there of how far someone's hiked, and it's probably more than 14 miles in a day, but maybe not in the snow, in these split snowboarding shoes.
I guess that's just insane to me because I don't like hiking that much. 14 miles in 5 days still sounds insane. Like,
yeah,
in the snow with, I'm assuming, his gear on. Like,
yeah.
That's yet again, like how you were talking about the kids get like 4 miles away from where they are. How did you get there?
Right. But anyways, so his body was found by 2 hikers at the bottom of a frozen waterfall. The search party had gone over that area multiple times before, but they had never seen him until that day.
So his body just like appeared.
Yeah. The crazy part is like how he was found is what's really, really confusing.
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, they went over that area multiple times, never saw him. These 2 hikers not involved in the search party just stumble upon his body mangled in a strange position. His skull was crushed as if he had fallen from the sky. He was still wearing the full ski outfit and helmet, but there were no boots on his feet, and he had also taken off his gloves. The search and rescue team later found his discarded split snowboard, but they never found the boots.
Wait, pause.
Mm-hmm.
His helmet is on and his skull is crushed?
Yeah.
His helmet is on and his skull.
His skull was crushed as if he had fallen from the sky, but he was still wearing a full ski outfit and helmet. So
I'm confused.
I'm wondering if, like, okay, so like a ski helmet, it's like, the little helmet that goes all the way around your head with your little goggles right there. But was the helmet also crushed? And it was just like all crushed together as if he had truly fallen from the sky?
I need clarification.
We don't have it.
Because if his skull is crushed and his helmet is fine, that makes 0 sense.
I'm hoping that's not.
I'm hoping not as well.
But then also it's like, how is a skull crushed but a helmet still sitting on you? Like, you're still wearing a helmet. Because I feel like if your skull is really crushed, like the helmet's like fucked up.
Yeah, and also wouldn't it, like, because the ski helmet's like it's
uh-huh.
It's got a little strap, right? But it's
yeah.
Would it not be like falling off or something? Like,
I mean, if the helmet was also crushed, I would assume it would fall off. Everyone's like, who cares about whether
Listen, I need to know.
But anyways, so his cell phone and GPS were still working, and he had packed a backup battery as well. When they tested the area where he was found, there was cell phone signal. But he never called anyone for help. And police deemed this as an accidental death and closed the case. But yeah, so that one was just really weird to me because, like, we get it. You're cool and you're going to walk ahead of the group, but I don't think you're going to walk 14 miles ahead of it.
No, something about that doesn't sound right, but it seems like the easy way to go out with it because there's no evidence of anything else.
Yeah, accidental death. Oh, yeah, he just walked 14 miles by himself and then fell off a cliff.
Snow.
And crushed his head.
And we still don't know if his helmet is on or not.
His helmet is on. We don't know if his helmet is also damaged.
But also, like, because it's like when people get hypothermia, they start to, like, strip their clothes off and stuff. But him just having his gloves and his boots off, that's not giving hypothermia.
No, because, like, his entire ski suit was also on.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I kind of wonder is, like, was there any, like, damage to his body outside of his skull?
They said he was positioned in a...
Well, it was mangled in a strange position is the words they use. But, like, does mangled mean, like, broken? Or just, like...
Get me? just like,
yeah, just a little.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's not. I need more than a summary.
Don't worry. Next time, I am going to deep dive into one of these cases and hopefully get all the information out.
Yeah, because it would be interesting to know what information they have, like what full information they have to get to the conclusion that they came to.
Right.
Because, what the fuck?
Moving on. Next story. All right, so it was Father's Day weekend, 1969. 6-year-old Dennis Martin was at Smoky Mountains National Park with his brother, father, and grandfather. They camped out for the night, and the next day, a man approached Mr. Martin asking if his sons wanted to play with his kids, since they were about the same age. Dennis's father agreed, and the children started playing a big game of hide and seek.
In the woods.
In the woods.
Stupid.
Never. Dennis's father kept eyes on his son from a distance. Dennis hid behind a tree, and when the other kids jumped to reveal themselves, Dennis didn't. His father got up and ran over to where he had last seen his son, but he was gone. The Appalachian Trail was nearby.
Oh, God, here we go.
So he ran full speed for 2 miles, yelling and calling for Dennis, but he couldn't find his son. They called park rangers and spent all night looking for him. The search for Dennis Martin became massive. The FBI, Green Berets, park rangers, and local volunteers searched for 6 weeks. The only thing they found belonging to Dennis was 1 shoe and 1 sock, but they never found a body.
I could not imagine being the parent in this situation.
Especially since he literally was keeping an eye on him. Like, he knew what tree he hid behind. He went behind that tree.
That is insane. That is actually insane.
Like, what?
That's something I feel like you could never get over, because I know as a parent you're also going to blame yourself. Like,
I mean, I guess, yeah, obviously I think a lot of parents have parent guilt for a lot of situations that they don't have control over.
But I'm like, your whole child, that is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
That isn't, but how, where, time slip? Cave?
Maybe. Cave? Well, so police conducted interviews and dug through files with testimonies, and the Key family, which was a different family, had been camping in the park that same weekend, and they asked park rangers where they could go see bears. They were told where to go, and when they arrived, they reported hearing a scream. Their child pointed at the top of the hill, saying he saw a bear. The father said it looked more like a scary-looking, wild, hairy mountain man dodging behind trees while carrying something over its shoulder.
A week later?
No, that's the same weekend. They had reported seeing that.
And there was never anything found out about that?
Mm-mm. So it's like,
there's so many deaths.
What was the thing it was carrying over its shoulder? Like, was it that child that it had taken?
Mm-hmm.
Or
there's so many gaps in these stories.
Well, and it's also like, you're watching your kids play, your kid hides behind this tree. Was he like locked in on that tree? Or was he like, oh, talk, and didn't see something else come behind that tree? Obviously, we don't know. No one's going to know. No. But like,
there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. And when in the woods, there's so many like hidden movements.
And you're by Appalachia.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother layer to it in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's kind of heavy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I can't end on that one, so we have one more. Because she was a little dark. We can't with a missing child. Yeah. Okay, so this last one. In February 1977, a 24-year-old man named Stephen Kubacki was cross-country skiing through the snow near Lake Michigan. Once he reached the edge of the lake, he took off his skis to sit down and rest. When he got up to leave, his own tracks were gone and he became lost. The last thing he remembers was walking through the snow, feeling numb and exhausted. He blacked out. In the blink of an eye, it was spring. He was lying in a grassy field in the middle of a forest, wearing clothes that weren't his. Sitting next to him was a stranger's backpack containing running shoes and glasses that did not belong to him either.
I'm like, I need to hear more. Like,
I'm seeing your like facial expressions out of the corner of my eye, and I'm just like,
I'm speechless right now.
He hiked to the nearest town and asked the local residents where. He hiked to the nearest town and asked a local resident where he was. They told him he was in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, 700 miles away from where he had been skiing. His aunt and father lived in Pittsfield, so he knocked on his aunt's door. His family was in shock, hugging him and asking where he had been. Kubacki had been missing for 14 months.
So he doesn't remember anything within that 14 months?
No.
How?
Like, he blacked out, woke up, and was 700 miles away 14 months later.
Can you black out for 14 months?
I don't know.
What? I'm like...
How can you black out for 14 months and, like, pop up 700 miles away?
And clothes that aren't yours?
With a backpack and stuff that's not yours?
How do you...
Also, you were skiing, and now you have running shoes in your bag.
And it was winter, and now it's spring?
14 months, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
like, what?
Yeah.
What? Everything. I... When like, actually...
The short circuit.
That doesn't make any sense. That gives, like... Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but... That gives, like... Since it's getting close to Halloween, that gives, like, fairies. Like, have you ever heard the lore on fairies?
No, but it sounds like something you're gonna have to cover soon.
And I will. They can, like... They're all, like, nice and sweet. Come with us. And then all of a sudden, they're evil and you're vanished. Like...
So do you think he ran across snow fairies while skiing?
Maybe. Like, I'm like...
Or, plot twist... You think, okay, so he was lost, he was feeling numb, he blacks out, the fairies save him, take him in, take care of him, and then plop him in a town where his family is.
And that's if it is fairies, okay? I still don't know if I believe in fairies.
But then the other crazy part is, okay, we could also think, like, alien abduction, right?
That is tea.
And, like, maybe they abducted this person, and they might have confused them. And just put him back where they thought they got the other guy from with his belongings.
And he got lucky because it was somebody else's backpack. And he got lucky that he had family there.
Yeah. Don't worry, there's more to the story.
Okay.
Hopefully this clears some things up. Or maybe it won't. Maybe it'll make us more confused.
Right.
But gotta finish. All right. So when Kubaki went missing, at first, the search team found his poles and skis at the edge of the lake. I'm assuming that same lake that he sat down next to. But remember, he got up and started walking and was lost. So, like, how does skis get back there? I don't know. But there was only one set of footprints leading toward the water, but none walking away. So the footprints...
that he said he didn't see...
Right. So now it's almost leading itself towards like a time slip kind of thing.
Yeah.
But basically everyone assumed that he had drowned himself in a lake, basically. He drowned himself in a freezing lake. He had been missing for so long that everyone had assumed he had to be dead. Because, I mean, at that point, what is the other option? Like...
You've been missing for over a year, you know?
Well, and they found evidence. His skis and his poles were at the lake. The footsteps were leading to the lake. And he was just gone. But he says he walked away.
Alternate dimension?
And blacked out.
Alternate dimension?
I mean, maybe.
Time slip? Different I don't understand.
But I feel like time slips is like... I feel like it had to be like some kind of interdimensional something.
Yeah,
because a time slip, it's like, oh, you jump to a different point in time. But like you end up kind of back where you were, right? Like you don't...
end up 700 miles away.
Right. I don't know.
14 months later.
So the official explanation is that he had amnesia and he was wandering in a, fugue. Okay. So he was wandering in a fugue state. But even doctors are baffled by this case. It's incredibly rare for someone to lose their memory of such a large chunk of time. And it still leaves so many unanswered questions. His story was included in a psychology case study book about amnesia, but even experts have been unable to figure out what actually happened. Kubaki had already earned a degree in linguistics before he went missing, but was so fascinated by his own case that he went on to earn his PhD in psychology. He wanted answers about his own disappearance, and yet he still couldn't find them. Solving the mystery of his missing year became an obsession, and he went on to publish a book called Metamathematical Foundations of Existence, Gödel, Quantum, God, and Beyond. In it, he writes about the possibility of alternate universes.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I do feel a little bit more confused now.
You're welcome.
I'm still... Okay.
Uh-huh.
Didn't see the tracks of him walking to the lake. So
he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't see the tracks walking to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So he wandered off because he didn't know where he was. He didn't know where his trail was.
Mm-hmm.
They find the tracks of him walking to the lake and see no tracks of him walking away.
Correct.
So they think he drowned.
Right.
He wakes up. There is absolutely no logical explanation for this in my mind right now. I cannot come up with any logical explanation.
I mean, what is logic?
True.
Because I do think that the whole thing of like alternate universes is kind of scarily possible.
I mean, you saw that freaking supercomputer confirmed that there are different dimensions, right?
I mean, no, but I'm not shocked.
Yeah, no, there was, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it basically solved like a math equation extremely fast that would have taken many, many, many years for us to solve, and it was confirmation of like interdimensional universes.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a shock.
So like, okay, he walks up to the lake, he sits down, and he gets like sucked into this portal.
Wrong place, wrong time, I guess.
And so like he's still sitting there. I guess he's not sucked in, but it kind of like
he just
portal. He's gone.
Steps into it, yeah.
And then he gets up to turn around to walk back.
And then his tracks.
And his tracks are gone. Wow, wow, wow.
Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, that seems to be the most plausible explanation.
And even then, do we have proof of that for real?
We don't. And we won't.
Mm-mm. Especially since he doesn't remember anything. It's like, dang, bro. Like, if you're going to go into a whole different universe, like, let me hear a story.
Yeah, like, can you remember something?
Can you do, like, some, maybe not past life, but you know, like, where you get, like, hypnotized?
And they pull the memories
and they, like,
out.
pull the, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried that? I'm sure he has. He has a whole PhD in psychology, but, like.
There's nothing there?
Not in this summary. Again, on all of these stories, I'm sure I could deep dive.
I need a deep dive on this specific
one specifically? Oh, God. Okay.
I am requesting.
We'll see. If you guys want it, let me know. Let me know. But yeah, that is kind of just a quick rundown on Missing 411 in general. And this just a couple of these stories because, you know, there's over 1,200 of them.
Yeah, so let her know if you want another episode on
If you want some more, you want some more details, obviously these were quick summaries on some stories that could probably be a whole hour episode on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Check out our links below. Check us out on other social medias. Hit that subscribe button down there. We hope to see you guys next time.
Bye! Look, so skeptics say it's just people getting lost, which is tragic but explainable. But like when you hear the details and the strange similarities in the government silence, like you can't help but wonder, what is it about these forests? What are we not being told? So next time you lace up your hiking boots and you head into the wild, remember, stay together, stay alert, and if you hear someone calling your name, no, you did not.